The wood shop is sponsored by Chefware Kits and Easy Wood Tools. Alright, welcome back. I'm going to make this sun today. I inlaid these pieces of redwood and a piece of maple. I saw about a month ago somebody did a scroll saw Santa scene, and I really liked the way the corners were rounded over on it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Let's go ahead and get started. You might recognize these two pieces. They're the plates I got at Goodwill about a month or so ago. They were 99 cents each. Alright, I got them all sanded. And this one is completely different. There's just not a, I even put some oil on it to see, there's just not a whole lot of character in it. And this one is just insane. So I'm going to, what I was going to do is make the sun out of one and the flames out of the other one. So I drew these little templates and I was going to use those. I did a little test one here. I hit it with a round over bit and I like the way that rays look. I think that's going to look nice. So what I'm going to do is glue them together. And got a little circle to test everything. So I'm just going to make these shorter. I'm just going to go around different sizes, bring them, you know, and work my way all around the whole thing. And then that way I have enough for the whole thing. And I think it'll work. And I'll cut it all out on the bandsaw and finish them. But I'm just going to glue this together and leave it overnight. Alright, I'll let that set up, put some weight on it. Alright, I just went ahead and marked my sun in the center, and I thought about it. I'm going to do these at a bit of an angle so I can get some longer ones out of it. I was just going to go straight in, but I might do that to do some shorter ones, but this way I can get some longer ones in too. Then I'll use the other pattern too. Alright, I'm just tracing over the lines with a Sharpie. Don't do a big one. That's a mess. But anyway, I'm just going to trace these out so I can see them a little bit better when I'm cutting out on the bandsaw. Alright, I just hot glued this on. I'm going to true it up and then just round over the corner just a little bit. That'll eliminate some hand sanding. Alright, I have it all sanded. I'm just going to go ahead and part it off. Alright, so I'm just going to start sanding them all. Take them over and clean the edges up on the oscillating sander, and then I'm just going to round over the edges by hand. That's what I did on this one. I may hit just the corner once with the sander just to kind of knock off some of the material, but I did this whole one by hand and it came off pretty easy. If I was going to do it again, I would use solid pieces because I wanted to bring the tip down a little bit more, but I'm going to get into that other wood and it doesn't match, so I'm going to have to just kind of leave them tapered just a little bit there. All right, I'm just finishing these up with 600. I went from 100 grit to help round over the corners right through to 600, and they're just gorgeous. This one, that's the one I put on the lathe, and it doesn't have a finish on it yet. It's just beautiful. I put this little piece of sandpaper down here too. It holds onto it, grabs a hold of it, so it's a little easier to sand. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the face. I just use a screw chuck to mount it on here, and I'll flip it around, clean up the other side. It's pretty out of balance. And I'm just using my big scraper for that. With the lathe speed about 1,000. sure which side I'm going to use for the front yet. This side's just beautiful with all that quilting in it, but whatever side I don't use, I'm going to cup out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring the corner around here, and I want to recess the sun in there, so I'm going to get my caliper set up for that. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and dry sand the whole thing because a lot of this is still going to stay, and that way I don't have to sand it after I carve it out. So I'm just going to do that real quick, and I'm going to dry sand it so that when I glue it all together it sticks. Alright, so I just took them all over on the oscillating sander and cupped them out. They fit in there perfect, which is nice. I had to play around with these 4 real quick because they were like that, and it ended up looking like a spider or a turtle or something, so I just kind of adjusted them a little bit, but I think that'll work. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trace them out now. I'm going to take the router. I did a couple tests on a piece of wood, and I'm going to sink these ones all the way down in, and these ones will just stick out the side. All right, I'm working on the last one here. I got them close with the router, and then I just took sandpaper and went along the edges there. I numbered them, so I should have done that to start out with so that they slide right in there. And then I took and rounded over the edges. I like that look there, and I just took 100 grit to knock that down. I like that little raised inlay look. All right. So let me work on the last one. These ones are the hard ones. I kind of clean them up with a straight chisel here. Grab my glasses. And kind of dig out, go down the sides there. And then I have a little V. And this seems to dig it out. It actually goes pretty fast. Alright, it fits all in there nicely except for I busted the tip off of this one, putting it together. So I'm going to take it back apart here and sand this. I'm going to sand the whole thing here up to, I don't know, probably 400 or so. And then we'll glue it all together. Alright, I'm just going to glue the whole thing together now. All right, the glue's all set up, and I'm gonna put some salad bowl oil on it. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and let that dry, and then I'll flip it over and do the back side. All right, there we go. I'll put some pictures up at the very end. I got the inspiration for this project from a scroll saw project I saw. I can't find the video and I can't remember who did it, but it was a snowman scene and he rounded over all the edges and it just kind of blended in, and I really like that look. I love the way it just kind of looks like it's melted into the piece, so I thought I'd give it a try. All right, the live show is tomorrow. It's on my Q&A channel. The link is right there. It's at 2 o'clock Pacific time. I hope to see you there. All right, as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.